Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I wanted to talk about the parts that I recorded for this song, which is the casino, the John part, the George part on the Telecaster, and also the Rhodes piano part done by Billy Preston, which I did on my Nord piano. First off, the casino, John's playing it really lightly. He's playing with a consistent eighth note striking pattern, and it's not very rhythmic except for the "Don't let me down." He's doing a ba-ka-ba, ba-ka-ba, ba-ka-ba. That's you're accenting every three notes with. Check it out like this. So it's all pretty even, and he accents those two on that suspended. And he goes to the 7 chord here. That's 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Bunch of 2s and 1, 4. Pretty basic chords in this song. It's just F sharp and E the entire song, and as well as the B7 and the bridge. And a couple of variations, F sharp and F sharp 7, E major, and E suspended. Also in the verses, John is playing a lot more straight than in the choruses. And the choruses is when he's doing all that accenting. In the verses, he's mostly just playing. Alright, moving on to George. George is playing the Telecaster part, and he's kind of laying back and leaving space for other things to happen. He plays a lot of percussive things, like on the higher F sharp inversion. Again, he's doing that, accenting the upstroke every 3 beats. A lot. And then he's ending on this first inversion of an E major on the downbeat. So he's playing it a little bit quieter right before the main riff of the dum 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 dum. He's playing that E, but it's quiet then loud. Once he wants that riff to be heard, he comes to the forefront of the mix on his own. It's not necessarily there's someone hitting the faders. That they knew how to mix themselves and play to the volume of what's around them. That makes mixing in the end a lot easier. Another thing for the George part, in the verse, George is doing something very cool, very interesting. He's playing this high up note up here. It's on 14 and 9. And he's sliding down with his pinky. I know it's getting kind of hard to see. And he's playing with he's got his pick under here. He's doing this flip, this little pick technique that guitarists do. You can see it in the rooftop videos, it's a quick hand motion. You got your pick here, you slide it down under your pinky. Little sleight of hand with the guitar player there. But that's what he does. He does it really quickly and he switches to his thumb and his index finger. And he goes like this. Plays an E major 7. I'm pretty sure he plays it up here. That's where I see his hand mostly in the video. And then he resolves it to the... He's going with a major 7 to the resolved E major first inversion. And then he does it again. But it's a little bit different the other way he plays. That was the first time. This will be the second time. And then right there he switches from that to pretty similar. Maybe you could play all three of them. So one more time. And then the second time he doesn't end on the major 7s, he ends straight up on that bar of the E, and then he does these riffs. And then back to the chorus, and you're playing that percussive roll again. So George and Billy Preston are playing that riff together. I don't know if they worked this out. I didn't really see them working it out in the movie too much, or in the outtakes. They just must have had these ideas. Because Billy Preston is doing a similar thing where he's playing these inversions of the F sharp minor 7, and he's just playing all down these inversions until he lands on an interesting chord, I played on the guitar. So instead of landing on E major 7, he's landing on it, but he's not playing the root or the 5th. He's only playing the major 3rd and the major 7. And then he resolves it, kind of like that. Here we go, we're talking about the Nord part now. Billy Preston, he plays mostly 2 riffs in this song for the chorus. It's this, these 3 notes, these 3 notes, and 3. And he plays this riff. And then the second riff he does in the chorus is this. These, and he's rolling up to it with this one on the bottom. And that's another roll here, right there, so. What did I do? That. And sometimes this, and sometimes this. Let's play it all in contacts here. He's got these little extra notes he throws in there to make it more interesting, but the shell of it, let's play the most simple version. Let's play it right. One more time. Just leaving out that lowest note. One last time. Okay, that's the chorus. He'll pretty much do that the entire time. Alright guys, so the verses for this song is a little bit more complicated. I might not be able to show you. It never actually repeats, so it's all something unique. This is vaguely what the first time it does it is. For the verse. Got that in the left, the right hand, and then this in the left hand. And you're swelling up from here to there, so you're only really playing these 2 notes. So you're going, playing the 3 and then just the 2. That's the first deal. And then on the same thing on this hand, you do that with that note and then you go down to this one. Okay. So he does, and he keeps going down these inversions of the F sharp minor. I'll try to play it one more time. And then it's 2 notes per each. Keeps going down these inversions. And then he goes back up when he hits, this is the lowest one, he goes back. And then he resolves it to that. Like I was saying, this is an E major 7, but there's no root or fifth. So it almost sounds like its own chord, but with the context of the band, it sounds like a regular old chord. But it's really cool he's just playing this. Because it's a really pure sounding thing. There's no dissonance or conflicting vibrations. Everything's really pure. And then he resolves it just like that. Okay, so that's the first one. The second time he does something vaguely like, where it's more octave driven, and he resolves it. But again, it's really difficult. I'm not going to be able to just show it to you. Let's skip over to the solo because the choruses, like I said, they're pretty similar. So he goes like this. That's the first thing. It's these 3 notes and that one on top. And then he slides it down, which is either just these 3 or these 4 by sliding that together. So one more time. One more time. And then another roll upward in context. And that's again these 3 notes together. And then this again. So, like that. And then it goes up. And anytime it's around this area, I think he's hitting like these notes that are all next to each other. Because it's nice and bluesy. So. And then he ends it with this riff that's normally down here, but at the end he does it up the octave. And then he ends it with an E major. Beautiful. Daniel, get him, get him, get him. Alright, we got Daniel. Alright, so this is an upside down piano. Just kidding.
Hey guys, Neil here. First of all, I'd just love to start off by saying how great this song is, how much I love this song, how much people love this song. It's so good, it's so unique. It's such a great addition to the catalog, it really is. And this bass line too is very, very melodic, and I think kind of underrated. It's very pentatonical. It's got the 6 stuff. Anytime you can put the 6 in a bass line, I always love it, personally. But it's a very intuitive bass line. This song's also unique because it's in rondo form, a 7-part rondo form, actually. Rondo form is alternating A, B, A, C, A, B, A, which is what the song is. And it's a classical form of composition. The Beatles definitely did not intend to do that. Just like anything great art-wise, it just falls into place and it works on multiple levels. Paul is using his Hofner bass with the black tape-wound roto-sound strings on it. And I'm using my bass, my Hofner bass, with the black roto-sound tape-wound strings on it. But I'm using my contemporary Hofner bass. The difference between that is they're Chinese-made and there's a wood block in the middle for a more modern sustain. Personally, I think it just makes a Hofner sound more like a Rick, which hey, I like that sound. I think most of you out there would like that too. But for these rooftop recordings, I thought it sounded a little better than my other Hofner did. Plus, I just didn't want to take the expensive pyramids off my other Hofner. So now my contemporary is the bass that has the black tape-wound strings on it, and that's okay with me. It sounds great. For most of the Let Be sessions, you see Paul using a silver face Fender Bassman in the background. But I believe Glenn John said most, if not all, of the Let It Be album is DI'd bass. And it does sound like that to me, especially in the isolated tracks. There's no bleed from any of the other instruments, and there's always a little bit of that if there's a mic. So for these recordings, I played with an amp to react to it in the room, you know, like changes the way you play when there's sound there and how you dig into the bass. But I only kept the DI signal in the final mixes and the isolated videos. I really, really have always liked this bass line, but I like it even more now that I've delved into it. It really is melodic, intuitive, like I said. There's kind of always the same similar motif in the refrains whenever it comes back around. One musical thing I'd like to tell you guys to watch out for is right before the refrain starts, there's a little doo-doo on the high E. The second note's a little louder, and there's a little bit of a slide off, but that's a very telltale point to me. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Don't let me down. But it really is a great bass line. The bridge too is particularly fun, and it's very important. You know, the bass and the lead guitar have that I'm in love for the first dun 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 boom 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 boom. That whole walk down thing is really great. I've seen a lot of bands where the guitarist is just playing that and the bass is just doing roots, and you gotta get that section, you know. It's really crucial to the arrangement of the song, how good it is. The ending too, the ending is just them jamming, you know, Billy Preston soloing and Paul's just jamming on the bass, you know. And for the rest of the song, he kind of is doing variations of a main motif he's come up with. But at the end, it's just a free-for-all. And it's probably like one of the biggest jam bassline moments in most Beatles songs. It's so difficult because it's a lot easier to learn a repetitive thing, or like even with a little help, a bass line that's great and it changes every verse. It's still obviously a thought out bass line, you know, and it's complex, but it's also simple. This thing at the end, it's almost nonsensical. Like he's just playing random rhythms and parts, and it took me a long time to get. It's really difficult. But so you'll see a cut in the video because it took me many takes just to get that whole outro solo section. I was very proud that I got it, but you know, it's tough. So if you really want to dig in and learn it, God bless you, because it's tough, man. I'd like to just state one more time how great this song is. It's a fan favorite, and I think it's one of the most underrated Beatles songs because everyone loves it, but I don't think everyone realizes everyone else loves it. Whenever I play this song live, almost everyone in the crowd starts singing, "Don't let me down." Everyone. It's insane, like more so than Yellow Submarine, more so than Hey Jude. It's pretty insane how universally loved this song is, and people don't really know that. It wasn't really a hit. It's not on the Let It Be album. I think it was just a B-side. Was it a B-side to Ballad of John Yoko or something? I don't know. Fact check me, put it in the comments, you know. But everyone loves this song. It's just such a pure John Lennon composition. It really is. It's that universal lyric. We've all been there before. Don't let me down. And then the melody and the feeling of the song to match. It just really is executed so well. And I don't think people realize just how loved this song is, as much as, you know, by everyone else, as much as they love it. Really, the Beatles outdid themselves on this one. It's a great addition to their catalog. And happy playing out there. We hope you've learned something from the video. I hope we've learned something at the end of the day. All right. Oh yeah.